In 1958, the world watched as one man stood before the French president and uttered a single word that would change the course of history. That word was none. Ahmed Sékou Touré, the first president of Guinea, became the first leader of a French-speaking African nation to reject colonial rule outright. Born in 1922 in the small town of Forana, Touré's journey from the son of illiterate farmers to a revolutionary leader is a story of defiance, determination, and duality. His rejection of French dominance in Guinea set off a chain reaction that inspired other Francophone nations to demand their own independence. Yet, his legacy is far from straightforward. While celebrated as a hero of African liberation, Touré's 26-year rule was marked by authoritarianism, human rights abuses, and economic collapse. This is the story of Ahmed Sékou Touré, a man whose boldness reshaped Africa but whose contradictions left a complex legacy. Ahmed Sékou Touré was born in 1922 in Forana, a small town in what was then French Guinea. His grandfather, Samory Touré, was a legendary warrior king who resisted French colonization in the late 19th century. This lineage of resistance would deeply influence Ahmed's worldview. Despite his humble beginnings, Touré was ambitious. He worked tirelessly to educate himself, eventually becoming a labor organizer and a key figure in the fight against colonial exploitation. By the 1950s, Touré had risen to prominence as a leader of the Democratic Party of Guinea, advocating for independence from France. In 1958, French President Charles de Gaulle proposed a referendum that would allow French colonies to join a French community, granting them limited autonomy while remaining under French control. Most colonies accepted the offer, but Touré saw it as a continuation of colonialism. On September 28, 1958, he stood before de Gaulle and declared Guinea's independence with a single word, none. This bold move made Guinea the first independent French-speaking African nation on October 2, 1958. Touré's defiance sent shockwaves through the French colonial empire and inspired other African nations to follow suit. Within months, countries like Mali, Senegal, and Ivory Coast began demanding full independence. Touré became a symbol of Pan-Africanism, founding the Organization of African Unity and positioning Guinea as a hub for anti-colonial movements. He expelled French military and administrative influence, setting a precedent for total independence rather than negotiated autonomy. However, Touré's presidency was not without its dark side. His government quickly became a one-party state, suppressing political opposition and banning rival parties. The notorious Camp Boiro prison became a symbol of his authoritarian rule, where thousands of political dissidents were tortured and executed. Despite his anti-colonial rhetoric, Guinea's economy suffered under Touré's policies, leading to widespread poverty and reliance on foreign aid. His legacy is thus a paradox, a hero of liberation who also ruled with an iron fist. Touré's influence extended beyond Guinea. His radical approach to decolonization inspired leaders like Thomas Sankara of Burkina Faso and Julius Nyerere of Tanzania. Modern West African leaders, such as Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso, continue to cite Touré's expulsion of French power as a blueprint for their own anti-colonial movements. Guinea remains a key player in West African politics, often aligning with anti-colonial sentiments, a direct continuation of Touré's Africa for Africans doctrine. Yet, Touré's story is largely forgotten in Western historiography, overshadowed by other African leaders. France actively downplayed his role, portraying him as a radical rather than a legitimate leader. His complex legacy, both celebrated and controversial, continues to spark debate about the cost of liberation and the nature of leadership in post-colonial Africa. In conclusion, Ahmed Sékou Touré's life is a testament to the power of defiance and the complexities of leadership. His single word, none, reshaped Africa's trajectory, but his authoritarian rule left a lasting scar on Guinea. As modern African nations grapple with the legacies of colonialism, Touré's story serves as a reminder of the dualities of liberation and the enduring struggle for true independence.